Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to another Dragon Ball discussion video. I am once again joined by the one, the only, the man himself, the other half of the dynamic duo, none other than MJ from MJ TV. Man, why don't you say hello to everyone listening? I'm sure they've missed you.
What's up, guys? It's been a minute, but I am back. And what's up, Real to Real? How have you been, man?
I'm great, man. It's so good to talk to you. Like, in general, seriously. I know it was a weird voice. What was that voice? No, but that's the voice I make when I get really super excited. It has been a really long time, man. It's always been a pleasure to have you on the channel and just talk with you for however long we talk to each other outside of these videos. So thank you for joining me on this one.
No problem, bro. Let's get into this.
All right, so guys, you saw the title, you saw the thumbnail. Today we're going to be talking about Trunks, future Trunks in particular, and Dragon Ball Z, because we don't have to overly talk about Dragon Ball Super, but Dragon Ball Super will play a part in this because based on what we saw from Dragon Ball Super, did Trunks overreact to the androids and Cell in the entire situation he was in his younger life when he came back the first time in Dragon Ball Z? Because, look, I just have to say this, I've always been a huge, I guess hater? Would you say hater? I've always been a huge hater of this. I know a lot of people like the History of Trunks arc special that Dragon Ball Z did back in the day, but it never made sense to me, ever. What we got from the Dragon Ball Z continuity, what we got from the anime was just Trunks every single minute he could, telling people just how dastardly the future was. It was dark, it was a depressing place, these androids were going around and having their way with everything around them. There was no society, there was no hope, no future, no nothing. He was going back in order to stop all that, to make sure that the future actually had some bright spots in it and they could actually function as a society. And yet, they did this. Toei just decided to do this whole special and just throw in some weird shots in there that makes everything Trunks said almost null and void. Everything he says is just kind of an emotional teenager dealing with the world around him and thinking that everything is going to shit when it's really not so bad. In the History of Trunks special that they ratified in Dragon Ball Z, they showcase the androids in a fully functioning theme park. They show them shopping. They show people actually living their lives and don't really understand who the androids are on basic sight. I mean, these people have to announce themselves by making beams in their hand and blowing crap up for people to get afraid of their presence. They get all the way into a theme park, onto a ride, and someone even addresses them as if he doesn't know who he's talking to. That's strange. Like, that's not what Trunks is talking about at all.
And mind you, this is in the special, which is years after the initial attack by the androids when they took out all of the Z fighters. So it's like nobody still knows them because they still go into like shopping malls and they're like just going through the clothes and trying on outfits and stuff.
You know what? Okay, so the reason we're doing this video is I just wanted to bring that up because it's something that's always kind of made me mad about the way the fan base interprets future Trunks and his entire story. But MJ brought up a really awesome thing about how Dragon Ball Super introduces Trunks and why I decided to do this. MJ, what does Dragon Ball Super do with future Trunks when they decide to reintroduce him into the series?
To tell us how bad the future is?
Yes. Okay, well, whatever. So when they bring back Trunks in Dragon Ball Super, they have Trunks in a barren wasteland. I mean, this future is a million times worse than anything the androids would have done or ever have done, where Goku Black has come in and basically laid to waste everything that Trunks either held dear or any semblance of society whatsoever. They're living underground, there's barely any human beings left, and all they have to fight is ammunition. There is no future, there's no hope in Dragon Ball Super's reintroduction of future Trunks. And I'm just wondering, this is a future Trunks that we all knew back in Dragon Ball Z. He's around 17 or 20 years older. He's a much more mature man, even though he looks basically the exact same. I'm wondering when he's sitting there crying when we first introduced to him, thinking to himself, man, I really overreacted. It came to the last time I went back in time because it could have been so much worse. And Jesus, if only I could make it right again or something like that. That's really the crux of this video. Did he overreact? Go in the comment section below and tell us whether he overreacted, but I'll let MJ get to his point.
So the reason why we bring this up is because, like you just said, Goku Black laid waste to everything, and in fact, he actually eliminated the entire population at one point in the Future Trunks arc, whereas you go back to the Android arc or the Cell arc, and it's kind of funny because there's a pretty good scene where, I guess, Cell and Trunks are just reminiscing on the future, and he's telling Cell, I won't let you, repeat my future. I won't let you turn it into hell, basically. And it gets into this long flashback of just like the city's just completely in ruins, the desert land, it's just completely destroyed. Like the skies are like blood red and black. And I'm just thinking in my head, and I brought this up to Mark, is Cell just going like, what are you talking about? The future didn't look like that. What?
It's like, what are you talking about? Like, there was theme parks, there was shopping malls, like, gee, like people were happy, like everything. And it's like even Cell, you can imagine, he's a smart guy. This guy has DNA from everybody that we came to know throughout the entire Dragon Ball Z canon. This guy knows how to interpret the world around him. He's probably sitting there going, what are you talking about? There's theme parks, there's shopping malls. I left that future. That future is just totally fine now because there's no more androids, there's no more you, there's no more Cell or anything Red Ribbon Army wise or anything. That future is probably the most peaceful future in the entire Dragon Ball Z canon, and Trunks is only served every single time he's introduced just to make things worse. So, I mean, seriously, he does make things worse because his whole reintroduction into Dragon Ball Super led to the entire Tournament of Power and all these other universes being destroyed. Like, it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy how much Trunks coming back into time, like going back into time, screws everyone over, and he's just simply overreacting to the situation that he's in, especially the first time.
Also, want to point out too, I'm pretty sure people are going to be bringing it up. Yes, we do know there's different versions of how the Future Trunks arc, or the Cell arc, is portrayed. There's the special, the anime, and then I guess the manga version by Toriyama. But this is just a fun video. We're just talking about how maybe Trunks is overreacted.
No. I want to just reiterate this right now. There is no difference anymore. Yes, there is a difference back in the day when there was a manga, special, the way the anime interpreted it, and everything else. No, I say no. Dragon Ball Super showed us in recreations of the History of Trunks arc special that they're making that canon. So if Dragon Ball Super is a continuation of Dragon Ball Kai, then yes, the History of Trunks arc special is now canon, especially in the entire scope of this argument, that the one Trunks we're introduced to in Dragon Ball Super has to be sitting there at the end of the day thinking, wow, I overreacted to those androids. It was nowhere near this, and I was just a young guy who is way hyped up on emotions and adrenaline to realize how bad it could have actually gotten. That is my opinion. People don't have to agree with it, but I swear, like, Trunks has never been my favorite character. I think he's always overreacted. He's always been kind of a worthless character in the long run. And when you put it into this perspective and what the androids were actually doing and what is now considered, at least in my personal opinion, the canonized version of his timeline, is just like, I think he made things worse on purpose for everyone, for every timeline, besides the one that you brought up where Cell was like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? Like, I was there. Like, I remember it wasn't like blood red and explosions and tons of mushroom clouds and everything else like that. No, it was pretty good. Like, it was pretty good life.
Just imagining him strolling through like South City or something, like with shades on, walking to, what's that song, bro, from what's that song from the one with John Travolta, bro, when he's walking Biggie or something?
Oh yeah. Boogie Nights, like,
just like, walking to that down the street, just chilling, just looking for the android, just strolling through towns.
I think, first of all, just a general discussion, like, how SSJ9K, SSJ Carter hasn't done that already. I don't know. But that would be hilarious if someone could go on his Twitter and just tell him that he needs to do that animation of Cell walking down like the beginning of Saturday Night Fever. That would be hilarious. Oh my gosh. Anyway, guys, we're gonna leave it off at that. I hope everyone has enjoyed this video. It was really just kind of more of a relaxed video, just a discussion, but I do think people need to talk about this because although I like the History of Trunks special, MJ and I were talking about it kind of in a long form discussion before we actually started recording this, and I think he made a really good point as this is just more so of a popcorn flick. It's not something to be taken overly seriously. In fact, a lot of the stuff we got in the History of Trunks special just doesn't make sense for characters like Trunks and Gohan, the androids, and what the future would have actually held if Trunks just didn't go back in time. The reason we're doing this video is it doesn't make a lot of sense. It's not incredibly well told, and even though we're fans, we could still poke fun at it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please make sure to go check out MJ. His link is going to be in the description section below. Always awesome content over there for versus battles, power scaling stuff, just general discussions on Dragon Ball and other anime. Please make sure to go check him out. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell over by the subscriber button to notify you every single time I upload. At the same time, please make sure to share this video out to all your friends so they can share it on the laughs as well. I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. It's been real.